Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teague, who with me, like always, is the man who is also a big fan of justice, Noah Bailey. That movie exists. Anyway. So, Young Justice Season 4 is coming out in roughly a little over a month. And Warner Brothers currently isn't advertising it or promoting it at all for some reason. It feels like it should be a big deal, but whatever. So because they're not doing anything, I thought, let's do what we can now to build the hype for it.
Mm-hmm.
So today, Noah and I will be going over some of our predictions and thoughts and theories of what might happen in Young Justice Phantoms. So, go.
Okay. Okay. So there's a lot. Okay, so a lot happens in this season. Like a lot of things happen, and like what I like, but also kind of don't like, is how like very like either subtle or like little detail is like given on something. Like it'll just be like, oh, this is the thing. But like if you know comics, you're like, oh, that's this. That's gonna lead to that and that and that. So that and that. But the only thing about that that's gonna bother me is like there's a Young Justice tradition of the time skip. So like there's gonna be, obviously there's gonna be a time skip because there always is one. I'm guessing like 2 years because 5 is too many, but 1's not enough. So I say about 2 probably. But obviously, the big one that everyone got hyped about. There's the whole like Jason Todd thing was a big in that episode. So that's heavily implied to be a big deal. So I'm thinking, honestly, I think that's whether we want to see it or not. I kind of feel like that's going to be already resolved by the time the season starts.
Ooh. So you think Red Hood will just like be a part of the team?
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but not necessarily like the team. I'm thinking he's going to be in the whole like Batman Incorporated circle that's kind of going on.
Okay, because did you actually end up watching the season 3.9
I did
audio
not.
play?
No, I should see that. I'm sorry.
So the main thing to take away, it is very entertaining. I would suggest if you just want to watch or I guess listen to more Young Justice content. The main thing to take away from that, are Arsenal is back on the team. Artemis is the new leader of the Young Justice, or the team.
Okay.
It was about a year after season 3 when that episode happened. So this season will take place at least a year after season 3.
Okay.
And while everything was happening in that event, probably because they couldn't get what's the name? Jesse McCartney to like be there at the time, but also potentially tying into Jason Todd stuff. It simply said that Dick Grayson was off on doing a Batman mission. So it's possible that that was just for being resolved off screen during the events of season 3.9.
Right.
So as much as I would like to see Red Hood, Jason Todd take on Batman and Nightwing, there is a chance that he could just be around and that'd be fine.
And that's kind of and to be honest, that's kind of been a theme of Young Justice lately. Kind of the like trademark storylines have kind of just happened, assuming how things work. Different characters just kind of appear, like very similar to the whole like Death in the Family thing. Like we have Robin, and now we have Tim Drake immediately. So you already know that we've already gone through a Robin. He's, what I mean? They have the like memorial to him for like a second when like they talk about like other people who have died, but like it's fairly established very quickly. Like, this already happened. You know how DC works. This happened already. So I feel like that's going to be another example of like, season 3, Oracle's just in a wheelchair now. Like we know how that happens. Kind of thing.
It's been 2 years. Stuff happens. It's time.
Assume the Killing Jokes happen, which is crazy because in this universe, the Joker is very underwhelming.
I
So,
hate this Joker. She's only one episode I hate.
It's so bad. I
His
feel
voice
like
is
they're. I feel like
bad.
if he does make another appearance, they're gonna try to make it. They're gonna go in a completely different direction, which I think
They
is
have done that before with like
a lot of
characters like Slade, who I kind of liked the season 2 version better, but still like drastically a very different character in season 3 than was
Yeah,
season 2. There's been a couple other instances of that as well. So I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if Joker shows up and just kind of
Yeah, 'cause
not the
especially only
same.
yeah, especially only being what, one, maybe two episodes. I don't even know.
I think he was literally only in one episode.
I only remember him, yeah, in the one episode with all the plants or whatever. But
Plus, if we go by the theory of the 3 Jokers,
oh,
maybe some different, which I hate, but some different Joker could show up.
so oh my goodness. I mean, maybe, but yeah, there's probably gonna be just an entirely new joke, which is fine because I feel like since that first episode aired, I feel like they've had a lot of time to probably improve on what can be a Joker. So that'll, so yeah, I feel like the Red Hood thing's kind of already happen, especially because we've had other animated projects that have really gotten into this story, and
So you're right, but we also had an entire season of Teen Titans dedicated to the Terra arc, and that was a big part of season 3.
that is
So
true, but
they aren't afraid of going over new like old ground. So
this is true, but this Terror arc was very different. Like, I
yeah,
mean,
but
well, I mean, aside from like one, she didn't do it, first of all, like, which is the
yeah,
biggest difference, which I was still kind of like didn't love, but
you
kind of
got
get
close.
it. Yeah, like she thought about it, but she was kind of like, she kind of was just like, no, at the end. And I'm like, and I get, and also the whole, like, it was a very much tied into, the mutant trafficking thing. That was a big thing for 2 seasons now. And also obviously the big, the main plot with Brion and his family and everything, which I didn't really love how they tied that together, but I kind of just accepted it because, well, if we're going to talk about these characters, it might be something interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't see them doing this storyline, even though they have easily plenty they could run with it. But I think they're just gonna kind of assume how this goes, so to speak. Which I just think it kind of will. I think it could be a big plot point, but at the same time, I think that's gonna happen pretty early, and people are gonna be disappointed because they're gonna be like, "Oh, I wanted to see that happen." And he's kind of just already there. But I think Jason's gonna be a great character, so I think it'll make up for it.
Yeah, like regardless of how Jason Todd is in this season, he's going to be great.
Yeah.
So, kind of going off just the name of this season, Phantoms, I think one of 2 major things are going to happen in this season. Like Phantoms just kind of gives this idea of like, the past coming back, like, people who were thought dead, like either Jason and or Wally West coming back. Either of those, like one of those 2 has to happen this season. Is that right?
I mean, yes, but I really don't think it's going to be the latter. I mean, it could be, but I mean, I don't know, man. Like after that one episode, the like magic episode with like Artemis and like kind of her letting go, kind of. After that, I feel like that was kind of I think that was kind of the creators like giving us the subtle hint, like, hey guys, it's not happening. You know what I mean? I think that I feel like it was, although, like you said, obviously the name alone implies heavily that the opposite could also be true. So I don't believe it will happen personally, but I would love to be wrong. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I feel like Wally returning in the comics is essentially what sparked the end of the New 52. Like him returning out of the Speed Force somehow like literally rewrote the universe at the time. I think it would be pretty cool if like he does come back, and then not necessarily to the point of like what Flashpoint did, but I think Wally coming back, essentially messing with the continuity of the show, I think could be an interesting angle to go with.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that would look, but I think if he did come back, that could be a cool angle.
I mean, yeah, we do have a lot of characters available to be kind of mixed around and switched up. So I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. So I honestly really do think Red Hood will be like a major character in this, a major like villain. Like I know it would make sense based on previous seasons, like you said, previous events of previous season stuff just kind of happens. But if for no other reason, then I want to see this Dick Grayson fight Jason Todd.
Oh,
absolutely. It's just fun.
Absolutely, yes. I'd love to see it, or like a Robin War kind of, just like, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and maybe. I mean, I doubt Damian will be old enough, but I mean, who knows?
No, he'll be like 3, maybe.
I mean, man, that kid. Nothing surprises me at that kid. That kid could be 5 years old, like slicing people's heads off, man. Yeah. But honestly, I think and like and also there is a lot. That whole Batman Incorporated team is very incorporated. So there is also, like, spoiler, there is Orphan. There are a lot of other, Batwoman's also, which I totally forgot about till I like rewatched some stuff. I was like, oh yeah, Batwoman's in this for like half a second.
She was only shown for half a second when she left the league, and then didn't show up at all during season 3.
Which also, is Batwoman a Justice League member? Is that a thing? Did I not know?
Sure, why not? No.
I mean, I guess so, but it was kind of like, that was kind of quick. Like, I mean, granted, it's been a little bit, but it's like this character went from not even existing to like being on. Like, granted, Aquaman's also the leader, which is still I have problems with. But
yeah, but I mean, currently Black Lightning's the leader,
right? Which, yeah, I had a little theory about that too. Which I don't think that's gonna last. I mean, he's trying to.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, he's doing the thing where you try to, change the system by being in the system, whatever. So he's trying to, like, no more secrets. Dude, no. How are you gonna tell? First of all,
Batman.
First of all, like, the fact that he believes that Batman's gonna, like, willingly give up authority to you is hilarious to me. Like, Batman, like, come on, man. Like, he's literally gonna do the same thing all over again. Like,
yeah,
it's not even.
Batman orchestrated an entire 6-department team strategy to take out one man.
Yeah.
Literally like 30 people organized together under Batman's orders.
And that's the thing.
To take out Lex Luthor.
And that's the thing. Batman has the ability to go above him, talk to everybody else, and they have their organized teams under them. They don't even know they're working for Batman. They're working for Batman. Like, crazy. That was some, like, I mean, that was so, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, and I know he said that he would fold Batman Incorporated back into the Justice League. But
yeah, right. Come on. This is Batman we're talking about. Oh, like, come on, man. Like, the fact, like, if Black Lightning really thinks that he can, like, all right, Batman's gonna play along. Oh, come on, man. I just don't. There's no, like, I honestly, like, he's not gonna, like, when they get back, I don't think he's gonna be lead. He's either gonna retire or just, like, I feel like he's gonna just be like, you know what, go back, go raise his girls, and maybe him and Dr. J are a thing. I don't know if that's still gonna happen or not, but she's still.
I mean, Dr. Jace kind of turned mega evil, right? Like, she's.
Yeah, I forgot about. But it was weird because it was like she was like evil, but then it was like.
I think she ended season 3 on Geoforce's side.
That's what I was saying. It was kind of like the Terra thing. She, like, went evil, but then at the last minute kind of, wait, no, never mind. And, like, all somehow forgiven. But then again, he was a dictator thing, which kind of didn't make sense to me how that happened either.
His secretary guy has mind control powers, kind of, and he kind of manipulated him to go that way.
Well, he because he killed the like uncle or whatever, right? And it was on like national TV, so he's like a terrorist. But I'm like, I mean, It's DC, so like killing people is never the answer supposedly. But I'm like I see no problem with that personally.
I mean,
In
yeah, it's
context, like in context.
yeah, you're right, absolutely. In context, it was kind of the right thing to do, but
You can't be associated with the league, so to speak.
I guess.
But like the league doesn't even do it. But like my thing was like, why was everybody so mad at him though? Because like I understand if like, hey man, publicly we can't support you, but like you're still one of us. But like this seemed like everyone was just like, ah, oh, you're terrible. I'm like, y'all know what he was up to, right? Like,
yes,
we
but
were
they
all...
established very early on in the lore of Young Justice that they don't kill people. Like
I
episode
know,
2.
and I know that's the like. But my thing that bothers me is that like I understand that's like a Batman Superman rule, but that is not a rule for everybody.
Especially not Wonder Woman. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, Wonder Woman goes out of her way to behead enemies. It's like
It's not in this universe. I don't know.
Yeah, or like like I know Green Lantern's killed some people. Well, you know what I mean? So like, it's very. I understand, like, oh, this, like, it's very flippy floppy how they do some things. So it's kind of just like, okay. Like, I know they needed, like, I guess, season ending conflict, but it felt very forced there to me. Like, I didn't love that. Not that, Rion was my favorite, but, like, especially that,
season...
like, sorry.
Go. No,
especially that it was just kind of like, we're gonna ignore all the horrible things he's done because you killed him, and it was like he was gonna kill them too. Like,
yeah,
it's not like he was defenseless. I mean, was defenseless after they beat him, but it was like he was definitely gonna kill them.
Yeah,
he was a mutant too. Like,
meta-human.
sorry, wrong universe. Sorry.
Season 3 definitely is the weakest of the 3. It's still, I think it is still a very solid like season to a very good show, but watching them back to back to back, season 3 definitely was like the lowest point of the 3 so far, which is why I really do hope that season 4 focuses a lot more on new and the original team more so than the outsiders, and a couple of the other characters just kind of got my nerves a little bit. Like I liked Cyborg fine enough. I liked Blue Beetle and Impulse and whatnot, but like I'd be fine if they just kind of stayed in their corner. Had like an episode or two of them doing stuff, but like mostly new people and then all the like the original team doing stuff.
Yeah, I miss the original team. Like, and that's the thing. I know we talked about this before, but it's like the show really got away, even in season 2, kind of what originally I feel like set it apart. Like it was kind of following these specific characters, and granted, the other DC stuff is happening around them, but it's still kind of like it kind of feels like the character development kind of feels wasted now because you're not really seeing them progress, or they're kind of side characters in the show that was their show.
Yeah, like it was very cool, like watching it back to back to back, and in season 3, them being like, wow, when did we become the grown-ups in the room? Like, are we officially old now? Like,
yeah,
having just watched them, be kids, like it was kind of cool with like knowing that it's been 7-8 years in that universe. But yeah, it really does feel like a little too much happened off screen. Like I think that 5-year gap between 1 and 2 was a bit much.
Yeah, I agree. Like so
like 3 years would have been fine. 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like it didn't really need to be 5 years. Like enough happened that it was like I understand you had to make changes and like things are different, but like 3 years or 5 or honestly, I mean, the only like it had like 3 probably would have been fine because it's like okay, Robin needs to be Nightwing, I guess, but even then, not really, because like I mean, because
Yeah,
it is kind of a stretch to say in 5 years he went from 13 to 18, and in that time you've had 2 Robins. It's like that's kind of a lot. I know Jason wasn't Robin for a long time, but like
let me
I don't
think.
know.
I thought it was 15. Was it only 13
No, because
in
no, they made a point because Robin was the youngest. He was 13,
okay.
even though he was like the most trained to be a leader. He was like the
Hmm.
13-year-old immature, and I think the oldest was Calder. I think he was like 16.
Yeah.
But like, it was like I don't know. It just felt like I understand why they kind of want to do that because they wanted them to be like more adults. But I feel like if they could have saved that for season 3, maybe if they like, I don't know.
Yeah, like especially since Tim Drake didn't really do much in season 2.
Yeah, there was
It
kind of
wasn't
no
really
reason.
necessary for him to be there yet.
Yeah, they kind of could
Mm.
just. I feel like, yeah, I feel like Nightwing could have still just been older Robin. Honestly, like I know Nightwing's a cool. I mean, I like Nightwing a lot as a character, but I feel like
Mm.
it would have been kind of the same because again, yeah, you didn't really need Tim Drake.
It
He was
could
kind of
even it could even kind of been a thing where he was still kind of like in Teen Titans where he is still Robin, but like a slightly older Robin, not with Batman anymore.
yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
yeah, like his own thing, yeah, kind of doing his own thing. He's like,
Mm.
yeah, I think that would have been good, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt really like, oh man, they're doing a lot because a lot changed. Because again, and not only was he Nightwing, but like he didn't do anything. I mean, he only really had like 2 episodes where he was like doing stuff, and like most of it, he was kind of just ordering other people to do stuff, which I
I
get, but
mean,
like,
Nightwing keeping the Huntress secret, like
yeah.
from the rest of the team, kind of drove the plot, I guess.
Well, no, I mean, I don't mean when I mean doing stuff. I don't mean like he wasn't pointless. I mean like he wasn't like actually like in there. Like we didn't follow him fighting and stuff
Mm.
like that. No, I mean I know he was like driving the plot per se, but he kind of felt more like a mission giver out, or I don't know what the word for that is,
Mm.
than an actual like I don't know. But that's just me saying I wanted more Nightwing fight scenes,
Yes, and
basically.
hopefully
But
more Nightwing stuff happens in season 4.
hopefully, I hope so.
Yeah.
There definitely should be.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
part of the reason why I want Red Hood to be the at least like first half of the season main driving force. But
Yeah, I think they could do that too. Kind of like start with that and maybe go to something else. But yeah, because there's
I also think that if Red Hood is a major villain in this season, I think that could also lead credence to the League of Shadows, kind of like
oh yeah,
being a bigger threat because they were a pretty major threat technically in season 1, and then they haven't really been a major factor in season 2 or 3. They've had like a couple of characters that are in the League of Shadows here and there, but like full on Ra's al Ghul and the rest of the league being like a major entity
yeah.
could
And
be fun.
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Raish say he gave up the shadows or whatever? Isn't like
Yes,
Deathstroke running
technically
it?
Deathstroke is the leader,
Okay, right. It was like
which
hit. It was
makes
like
me
hit.
think, yeah,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
maybe you go.
No, I was gonna say it was like him and Shiva. That's like all I was thinking.
Yeah, which makes you think that Ra's al Ghul, I'll say Ra's. I know it's not correct. What I don't care. Oh, oh. Okay, clearly Zoom hated that I said Ra's, so I'll say Raish. Okay, it's fine. We get it. The universe will Raish.
When you're technology
Listener says Ross is wrong.
like Ross, no internet. They know. No. I always just say Raish because that's how Batman the animated series taught me how to say it, and that was my first interpretation of Batman. So
I
it's
think
kind of
that's how
just
they
like
say it in the show too. So.
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I don't know. I know that Christopher Nolan says it his own way, but I mean, and I know some people are like, well, in the actual Arabic, I'm like, well, actually, this isn't real. So,
who cares? Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it is a comic book, guys. We don't have to get like the real language. I mean, it's okay. And I'm like, is it wrong? Probably. Do I care? No. Like, I'm gonna call it that forever. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Christopher Nolan doesn't know what Bane looks like, so who cares, you know?
That's what I'm saying. But anyway.
But yeah, I think like whether it be Slade leading it or uh or um or Ra's al Ghul or
Whoever.
that other guy, the other guy.
The other guy. That one? No, the other one. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not Ubu, the other big guy. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Ubu.
I think the like League of Shadows themselves being a major factor would be fun. So,
yes.
yeah.
Especially with like I don't know. I know originally the show had a big focus on like covert and which I still kind of do. So I think that always goes well with the League too, just because who's more let's be very ninja, and then other ninjas out ninja you, and then you're just like, oh, cool. But no,
and I love how
okay.
go. Okay, yeah, pull that thought for a second. It just I love how like I think we had this conversation like a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember if it was on camera or not, but I love how people like Superboy don't really wear a costume, or Artemis just that's her name.
Yeah.
It's not really like a big deal because it is a covert ops team. So it's like the world doesn't even really know they exist, to the point where in season 3, Amanda Waller didn't know that the Justice League had a covert ops team. Like Manta had to say it for her to know that it existed.
Yeah. Which is saying something, because Waller usually knows everything.
Yeah. Now that she does, how will that factor into season 4?
It's true. Yeah, but no, I had the Suicide Squad. I have a Suicide Squad based episode or two on my list, just because. Why not? Because you know what I mean. I mean they had who was it? Like it was like what, Boomerang, Manta, and what was that? Major Mala.
Mala, yeah. And then in the in episode 3 or that audio play episode, it was another Suicide Squad that was Boomerang, Mala, Black Manta, Brick, and what was her name? That sister, that Martian girl.
Was it Terror Twins? Was it?
Yeah, the girl one.
The like super strong country hillbilly. Yeah. I want to say Beverly Hillbillies, but I thought that was so funny. It's like, dude, that's your sister. Oh,
yeah, it was that. I think that was it. There might be one other on there, but that was like the main team. So
okay, I could see.
But more Suicide Squad episodes, all for it.
Yeah, absolutely, always for it. Yeah, definitely. And because again, Waller's been very I honestly forgot Waller was already established in this show. So it was kind of nice to be reminded, oh yeah, Waller, she's not twiddling her thumb, she's doing something crazy. So that's a thing.
I love how she was the warden of Bel Rev, and then after that, she didn't skip a beat. She immediately just started working for the government. Where she needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, they found her, and it's low key too. It's you know what I mean? It's not in the news. It just happened. Yeah.
So what were you gonna say before?
I was gonna say kind of we were building off the Shadows thing. I kind of wanted to see this is a stretch. I don't think it actually will be. This is kind of more of a wish list thing, but I kind of want them to have they have Orphan. So I feel because Orphan is this, there has to be at least a little something between her and Shiva, just to because that's her daughter or whatever. So I'm hoping there's maybe some it doesn't have to be an episode, but just a comment or something. I know Orphan doesn't really talk, but I don't know, maybe that could be brought up or something. That's a tiny
because Shiva was in at least one episode of season 3, her and Katana
Right.
fought.
Right, and she killed what's his name, Ocean Master too.
Right.
The
Yeah.
nuclear option thing. I remember that. That was crazy. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. I don't really know why he was doing it, or what
I think
exactly, or
think he
why
just
they
wanted to.
didn't want him to do it. I don't know.
Well, because they say it was like the nuclear. Because it was like if we go nuclear, they go. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
Yeah.
because again, we know all them, they know all us. So like, it's kind of like if we go kill all their people, they're gonna kill all our people. Like, not that they would, but like, I mean, do you really want to risk Injustice Superman? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I don't think he would, but on the off chance he does, that's probably not the move. You know what I mean? Because I mean, they've got
Yeah.
that probably wouldn't go. Yeah, because it was like everybody. Like I know it was like everybody's kids. It was like Chris and Jonathan and like the Iris twins. I think who else? There was a bunch of kids in there.
Rocket was there.
Yeah, Bumblebee. Like pretty much everyone who had a kid was there. So it was like you want to just like absolutely just genocide. You want to just yeah, that's probably he was gonna do it too. He was not even like he was like
Ocean
I got
Master
my yeah, he's got the trident and everything. He was ready to go, and she was like, probably not a great idea.
Yeah, probably not. But you mentioning Injustice Superman actually kind of segues into something I was considering.
Do share.
What do you think are the chances of alternate universes coming in, like Owlman, etc., and like all that?
Okay. See, this I feel like that would be awesome, but I think that would be too much, honestly. Because I mean, first of all, we already have a million characters. We don't even know all the characters we have.
True.
So it's like bringing in alternate versions, while it would be very cool to see, would be kind of like just like mind-boggling. Also, we still have apocalypse stuff kind of looming, so I feel like we kind of need to finish that whole series long arc before we just, because I feel like alternate universe is another like potential series carrying arc. So I feel like maybe we need to like pass on that first, but then again, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't personally think that Darkseid stuff will be finished this season. I think season 5 will happen, and that with the conclusion to that. But yeah, like I think it's always a possibility of alternate dimensions. I don't necessarily think it'll happen this season, but I don't know. It's always something that like could happen,
awesome.
and might happen eventually, but we'll see.
I mean, what if they get an alternate dimension? They have an alternate Wally West, and then, or he stays with our Artemis or something. You know what I mean? Like crazier stuff has happened. So yeah, that could be a thing. Or
I am like 90% certain that time travel will be a major factor this season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with the like a last frame teaser out of nowhere. That was just like, what? We're doing this? Of superheroes.
Because yeah, that's not something that's just gonna randomly pop up in this timeline. Like probably my guess is that waitress was Saturn Girl sent to the past to do something, but through time travel shenanigans, she lost her memory or something and just kind of, decided to become a waitress. And then at some point in season 4, she's gonna like, something that happened, she'll remember or whatever, and then do the thing she was sent there to do. And then Fatal 5 stuff might happen, which again might be a lot, but I don't know. I don't know exactly how many of the Legion of Superheroes will be in this season, but I feel like Saturn Girl is gonna be the main one.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Just like, because again, like like you said, they don't. That's not an accident. Like especially they like zoomed in, super in on it. It's not like you had to look for it. It was in your face. So that's definitely I feel like going to be a big plot point for this season. And just
Mhm.
like I think going to the future and also bring some of the future back here. And
Mhm.
I mean, I don't because my thing is like I wonder if they're gonna take like how they kind of just like they split up teams for different missions like Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and I remember
Mhm.
like I think it was season 2, like one time they just had one team like okay we're gonna go to this planet and learn how this works and like they just went and I was just like that's kind of a
Yep.
big deal. They're just kind of casually going to another planet, just walk
Yeah.
into a boom tube. All right, so like I feel like they'd just be like all right Alpha, let me get Wonder Girl and this person and you guys want to go to like I forget what year it is, League Super, but you guys want to go to the future? And they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how are they like? I understand this is comic book world, but how are we so chill about it?
Hmm.
But yeah, that would
I
be
also think it would be so cool if time travel is a major, like a major driving force of this season. If
mm.
Reverse Flash comes in,
Oh, this I did not expect. Okay, okay, I like this. I like this.
like especially if Wally does come back, having a villain speedster be like at least one of the major villains, and then Wally West come back to in
Right.
like full Wally West speed force infused
Yeah,
Wally like going ham on him like
like
yeah
comic book Wally West, who's like so fast, it's ridiculous.
like Ben's reality so fast it's stupid.
Yeah, it's like stupid fast. Yeah,
Mm,
like that would be kind of awesome. Reverse Flash is kind of thing. They can't stop them. Impulse the Flash are trying to. They can't get, and then like the Speed Force just opens up. Wally West just.
I guess.
Yeah, everyone,
Yeah,
oh.
it'd
The
be
internet
cool.
breaks for a couple days. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome.
Mhm.
If only. Maybe they will. I don't know. Hmm. What else do I have
Um,
on here? Hmm.
I think,
Oh,
yeah.
oh. I think I know that even though Luthor totally got like proven to be doing the like superhuman trafficking thing, he's still gonna be running for president.
Oh,
It's probably
100%.
gonna be winning because first off, even if that really happened, that probably still would work out.
Oh,
And
oh, please, yeah.
like so of course they're gonna and like Superman's gonna be like I want it to be a running gag that Superman's just always pissed about it. It's just like Superman is just like he's like Superman. He's like I voted once as Clark Kent, once as Superman, and he still won. And I'm like somebody. It would be so funny if somebody like voted for Luthor. He'd be like, "Hey man, look, look, man, some of us can't fly, okay? Like, we need those tax breaks or something. I don't know, but I mean, no, I think it would be interesting if, like, because either he runs for president or just kind of is president because why not? But
Mm. Yeah, it's been 2 years, so that's technically enough time for an election cycle to happen.
right, well,
So, and yeah, he is
we
Lex
don't really,
Luthor, so we can just kind of buy his way out of any potential backlash from
yeah,
him, so whatever.
because
So,
I mean, he was like the UN, like something. I forgot what the official term.
UN ambassador, I think.
Yeah, or something like that. He was basically president of the UN, so it's like I feel like U.S. president is probably a step down, to be honest. But
I mean, he actually, Lex Luthor in Justice League Unlimited made it a point at one point to be like, do you know how much power I would have to give up just to be president? I'd rather be a billionaire. Like, yeah, it's true.
baller line too. Like the way he says, like, do you know how much power I have to give up to be president? Like, so mind, but he's not wrong.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Like he's kind of not wrong because at least when he does his own thing, people aren't watching him the whole time, so he can kind of do
Yeah.
whatever he wants. It's not like he really can do anything new that he doesn't already do. But like, it's just now he can get away with controlling the country. Oh my gosh. But but no, definitely something. President Luthor, everyone's gonna hate it, but it's gonna happen anyway. And then you're gonna have what's his name? G. Gordon Godfrey or whatever. But like
which I feel like the show is a little bit confused as to the alignments of G. Gordon Godfrey, because he's technically an apocalyptian. Like he's at least like allied with Darkseid, yet, and Darkseid is allied with the light, yet G. Gordon Godfrey constantly berated both Luthor and Granny Goodness about things. So I'm not really sure about that.
I mean, that did happen. So like, I'm guessing it's like maybe he's just trying to like, keep it, I guess, I don't know, like kind of keep them on their like toes or whatever, like, to kind of make sure they're, I guess, pulling their weight, because I know Darkseid was very displeased with Granny. So it sounds terrifying. But I mean, so I mean, maybe he was kind of the like, I guess, kind of busting chops more or less in like a public manner, more or less. But at the same time, I don't know, because that surprised me. I remember seeing that and I was like, oh. I didn't expect the news guy to be like, oh yeah, we're cool with Darkseid. Or maybe I just missed that. Maybe I just should have known that. But like, I remember seeing that in that last episode. I was just like, oh, okay, sure. I mean, that's probably gonna matter later. But I mean, all right. Oh man, but I think we'll probably get more into that, because again, the apocalyptic stuff, I kind of feel like they're going really slow on, and I understand that, because I mean we've known about Darkseid since what, early season 2, was it?
So the first instance of apocalyptic stuff coming was season 1 with the New Gods.
Right.
And
what
are they called? Oh no, it's right there. The Intergang, like having apocalyptic tech, doing stuff there.
Yeah.
And then Darkseid first appeared at the very end of season 2.
But you kind of knew he was around.
I think Desaad showed up at some point in season 2 as well. Before then.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And then it's like he's going around, and then.
Yeah, but then by the time season 3, parademons are just like a known thing that have been like attacking different planets and stuff, and Justice League is off dealing with it.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. The Justice League's kind of just like going around different planets. Like Superman's kind of just, whichever Lantern, Superman, and a couple occasional Leaguers just are kind of going around in space doing stuff.
Yeah, which is why Captain Atom stepped down from being leader, because he felt like he could do more out there.
Right. I guess. Yeah, because apparently, like everyone hates being leader, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I get it.
Which, like, I'd probably hate it too, because it's like you kind of have to like, because honestly, kind of like we were talking about earlier with Black Lightning, it's like, are you really the leader though?
Yeah.
It's like the whole like Lord Star-Lord, like, this is my shit. Oh yes, of course, yes, you're the leader, of course, yes. Like, smiles when he says it. You're just kind of like. Yes, right? Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. You're the leader, Black Lightning. Batman's just like,
totally.
Like, so that's probably the thing. But honestly, I mean, we'll see. But I feel like the whole leader thing's probably just gonna be like I mean, who knows? It might be a revolving door. I don't think it'll be that like Black Lightning still, but it could be. But I doubt it. I don't know. I feel like the Brion thing, I feel like they're setting it up to be a big storyline, but I kind of don't think it will be.
I think in one episode. He's going to be in one episode.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, honestly, I think I'm kind of done caring.
Yeah, that might be like the Outsiders B plot for an episode or two, and then, not much not much else really with that. I don't think.
I mean, I hope not, but I don't know. It could be a thing, but yeah, I don't really. Yeah, because even during the show, I was kind of like, this is kind of boring. But
Yeah, like yeah, he was just kind of annoying to
yeah,
he was just kind of annoying. Annoying as a
he's just
character.
kind of a bland character. He's hot-headed / entitled. Like that was kind of it. That was his whole arc,
Yeah.
and then he learns to not be so hot-headed and or entitled. And that was kind of it.
I liked Superboy kind of being like, I used to be like you.
Yeah,
So I know how to deal with it. I like that aspect, but
yeah, very
you know,
mentory.
yeah,
Yeah, which also
but
like heavily kind of implies how like Superman's been his mentor. Which, granted, I wish we kind of saw a little more of how they interact. Cause we got that one scene where they're just kind of in
yeah,
space. Oh, hey, Superman. Oh, dude, what are you doing here? Hey, I'm getting
yeah.
married. Want to be my best man? Oh yeah, totally. Punches like alien. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just like, all right. But yeah, I want to see more of that because I feel like that. Like, granted, some years have passed, but I feel like there was a lot of growth there that was kind of just all implied. I'm like, I feel like we
Yeah.
deserve
Because
that was
at
big
the end of
stuff.
season 1, Superman wanted nothing to do with
No,
Superboy,
he basically hated he existed.
and
And
Superman
like,
was away from Earth for all of season 2, so we never got to see them interact, and then also
right,
off in space in season 3. So yeah, I didn't really get much chance to
right. So
see
it was
them
like
interact.
between that gap, they just completely went from like, I wish you weren't real to, oh yeah, I'll be your best man. Which, granted, I know Connor doesn't have like a bazillion friends, but I mean, like, still, that's kind of a jump.
Yeah, like especially since
Like Dick,
I don't know. I feel like
Elder, no,
Nightwing and yeah, other people are right
right? They're
there.
all
Like
right there. Like, granted, I guess they are brothers. I guess they've accepted, but I mean,
yeah,
still, like that's kind of.
like
I mean, I love my brother, but I don't think he's gonna be my best man.
I don't know. Yeah, like if I was Nightwing, I don't know how I would feel about that.
Yeah, I'd be kind of slighted. But then again, to be fair, he didn't fake your friend's death either. So there's that.
Yeah, yeah,
Because both him and Counter were in on it. So
that's fair.
maybe that comes up later in the day. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Then again, your wife also tried to rewrite your mind, so there's that too. So maybe Counter. I don't know. The point is, I want more. I want more. I don't know. I feel like there's like growth that like I understand a lot with time skips things happen off screen, but I feel like a lot of character development is being implied, and I feel like that's kind of just it kind of just takes away from the character aspect in general.
yeah. That's kind of a double-edged sword that this show is strangely really good at, because like I love this show because it assumes you've read the comics, you assume you know who these characters are. You don't need to see Jason Todd's death. You don't need to see Killing Joke. You don't need to see, Superman doing stuff. You don't like all this character growth can kind of happen off screen because it assumes you know who these characters are, even more obscure characters. Like if you want to know more, you can read comics about it. But because it is a show and these are characters that have been around since season 1 of a show, you do kind of want to experience their life more. Yeah, I like that it doesn't like talk down to a belittle audience. Like you've read a comic, you know what's up, but at the same time, I want to know this specific version of this character. Like the specific
Right.
version isn't exactly like the one from the comic, so I want to know this one better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I think is it. Because again, like the big stuff, yeah, we can imply. But it's like the little because again, it's like these like young justice specific things
Mm.
that get built on or resolved or whatever. Those I still want to see on screen. Like the Superboy Superman conflict. That's kind of more this specific thing. Like I feel like I want to see that happen. Like,
Mm.
and it's just kind of it's difficult to just kind of assume that like it's easy to assume events and like timeline things because you kind of just know how these stories go, but it's hard to assume character development.
Yeah,
And I think that's the problem. Yeah.
yeah. But at the same time, the show is very, very good about subtly telling the audience every character in this world has spent so much time with each other just in how they talk. Like by the time season 3 hits, everyone's saying crash and mode. Like that is a thing that's like in the vernacular of everybody, even though that's typically just an impulse thing. Or Superman at the beginning of at some point in season 3, like say whelmed everyone. Wonder Woman was like, what? It's like, oh, I guess I've been spending too much time with Night, and then like cut off there. But like,
right, and I thought that that's
like
true.
even though we never actually saw Nightwing and Superman really interact that much, like you just kind of assume,
Right.
you know, it's been 8 years they've interacted.
And if you do know like the comic history, Nightwing and Dick Grayson, Superman and Dick Grayson do kind of have a closer relationship than most characters do.
Right, because isn't the Nightwing like a Kryptonian legend thing?
Yeah, he got the story from he got the story from
Nice.
which was kind of hinted at when they have the that campfire scene where they're like picking your names or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, you got your name from some kind of Artemis jokes where he got his name from. He's like, that's not true. It's a real thing or something. But yeah, he got it. It was like a Kryptonian hero or something that Superman told him about, and he's like, oh, cool name, I'll take it. And then anyway, so yeah, but yeah, I think like you said, I think that's good. The very subtle things, like like how they pick up on different things they talk about, and like saying things, because that does happen in like friend groups. Like somebody says something, and now you're saying it, and then someone who's not in your group is like, "What was that?" Like that happens so, especially in college. It happened all the time. I would just do things, or say something, or there would be like hand motions or expressions that would mean something, and everyone just looks at you like, and you're like, "Oh,
right, different group."
I look weird. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But yeah, I think that's a good point. But I still feel like they could do a little bit better about that. But again, I also feel like they know that though too. So I think they kind of because it is like you said, it's that double balance because you have to assume some, but also show, but without telling also, which is hard.
Yes. Yeah. Are there any other major villains or conflicts that you predict could be major driving forces of the season?
I think the idea of Brainiac will be teased, but I don't think it'll actually be a main plot point yet. Either with some Legion of Superhero stuff, with like maybe seeing Brainiac 5, or maybe a piece of Brainiac goes back in time with them, and that maybe is an origin to a Brainiac or something like that.
Yeah.
Or just Brainiac just one day shows up. I don't know. Maybe Supergirl is brought into the team or something because, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking Supergirl will probably show up this season.
Yeah, because there's always a dump of new characters. So, I mean, at this point, because I think Supergirl was one of the first characters I was thinking, like, where Supergirl's going to be here? And also, like, probably some other team, because we've got Beast Boy, we've got Cyborg, we've got, obviously, multiple Robins. So it's like, are we going to get a Starfire and or Raven just going to kind of show up?
I think Raven has a much higher chance than Starfire.
I could see that, yeah.
Not that Starfire can't be done if she's not in a relationship with Dick, but I think since we know that it's like this universe's Barbara and Dick Grayson are the power couple, I think it will be. I feel like you gotta kind of balance fan expectation from the Teen Titans going into this. I think just doing Raven, I think would be.
True. But it is also Dick Grayson. It's not like he doesn't mind playing the field. So
then again, if they do introduce Raven, then Trigon will be in the back of everyone's minds.
I don't think
I think that's too big.
That's
I don't
too
know.
big. We haven't like we're still dealing with our first universal threat. We need to, Dark Side we talked about. It could be Brainiac, could be Trigon. I mean, like we've got enough going on, and then it's like, wait, Starro, wait, no.
I mean, we already did Starro twice, kind of.
Kind of,
Vandal
yeah.
Savage punched him. Was that the real Starro? Was that like just a different Starro? Was that I don't know. Like, because we know that Starro was trapped in the Atlantean facility,
Right.
but then he was in season 1. But then in the middle of season 3, Vandal Savage fought a different Starro, or was it like just a released? I know it's been 8 years, but like
something like that.
yeah.
I don't
Like the Wikipedia page doesn't mention Starro getting out of Atlantis or anything. It's just
it wasn't but that's my thing. It wasn't explained until like it could still happen again. Like you know what I mean? But I mean, do I think it will? Probably not. But I mean, it's not like it's not pretty feasible. I guess. But I don't know. What else am I thinking? I'm trying to think of just general characters that'll probably show up that haven't shown up yet. So
I have an entire list of new team members that are potential.
Please do.
Cisco / Vibe, 100% happening. That was heavily. Cisco was mentioned by name. That was one of the football players kind of was like bullying him. The Cyborg stepped in to stop.
Okay.
Arsenal is back on the team now.
Right.
Hawk and Dove, I kind of don't like those characters. They're very boring. But I think they potentially show up at somewhere in the season.
Yeah.
Already mentioned Supergirl. I think Harper Rose / Bluebird. I think she'll either be on Batman's team or straight up part of the team. And this might be a bit of a long shot, but I think Azrael could potentially show up here.
I mean, they have basically everyone else, so theoretically, but I mean, also, I feel like unless Batman, unless we have Nightfall stuff, I feel like, I mean, anything's possible. I don't know.
I mean, Nightfall maybe already happened, so
That's true. Well, I had a thing where I was like, maybe Dick Grayson's just Batman now, but I'm like, maybe not. That's kind of what I was saying. I was like, that probably wouldn't work too well. I feel like it hasn't been long enough. And also, but then again, that would be the kind of time jump thing they would do, and they would just say, deal with it. You know what I mean? Because it just kind of feels like, I don't like that, but like I could see that happening.
I think that's season 5. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening yet, but it could.
That's what I'm saying. Like, would it really be that much of a stretch? Because again, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like it would happen. Like, would we be happy about it? No, but could it happen? Definitely could.
Essentially, if Red Hood is one of the major villains of the season, I think it would be a little weird if Dick Grayson was Batman.
Yes, I agree. I agree. But if they do the whole, you read comics, you know how this goes, and then he's just already done, kind of, not necessarily done, but like we've gone past that hump of Jason Todd's back, then maybe. But again, probably not. Like you said, that's probably a season 5 thing. But I think at some point, Dick Grayson's going to be Batman in this show.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
He's going to hate it the whole time.
Yeah.
He's gonna be so mad about it the whole time. Also, how is it gonna be if there was a Jesse McCartney voice Batman?
I don't know. I've been thinking about that too. Like, it's gonna be weird.
Because he's gonna have to change his voice. He's gonna do the voice change even though he doesn't need to. He's going to anyway.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like it's gonna be all like overly raspy for no reason. But anyway, we'll see. That I swear, if that's like the first shot, if it's like Batman chasing someone and it's Dick Grayson Batman, I'll be like, oh my god! I swear, I would happy, but also disappointed.
Yeah. Like, especially since I think Bruce Greenwood does such a good Batman voice.
Nice. I really
Like,
like
I just don't want to lose that, but
That's true.
yeah. I also think it'll be very cool to see Jessica Cruz Green Lantern on the team.
Yes. Yes.
Not,
the team
not
needs
that
a Green
Earth,
Lantern.
Yes, the team needs the Green Lantern. Not that Earth needs another Lantern at this point, because they already have at least 3. But I mean, there's like 6 from Earth in the comics, so why not?
Probably, yeah. Because I mean, why not Jessica Cruz? Because I mean, yeah, he can just also have Kyle Rayner, but he's kind of just with the league or something, or maybe he's
Yeah,
a
sure.
or wherever. Who cares? He'll be around. It's okay.
Yeah.
We've already got 3. We can go for 5 or 6 or however many.
Sure.
Yeah, but I think that Jessica Cruz would be a really nice addition.
As far as other potential villains, I think maybe Brother Blood. It's weird that like he hasn't shown up yet. So
True.
Yeah,
True.
that could happen.
Be. I did like
that.
I did like that they kind of had Mammoth in there. I thought that was a good. I know it wasn't like the same way, but I thought that was really cool, especially how it kind of tied into like the plot of the first season too. So I thought that was interesting and like.
Yeah.
Well.
So we could potentially have a high 5 that has Mammoth and whether it be Mammoth and then 4 other already named characters from the season from the show, or just new people.
Yeah. I kind of like that. Like when you kind of just already have people, so you can kind of just throw them together.
Yeah.
I feel like you throw because you throw like Mammoth, Live Wire, and like who else, Shimmer, and like what I mean, just kind of throw the B-list kind of villains kind of together and just say, that's a team. Sure.
But would that be too much overlap with the Suicide Squad?
Well, but that's the thing. The Suicide Squad's not just going to be doing run-of-the-mill stuff, though. They're going to be doing, but then again, that doesn't make sense because you do need people for that. But also...
Because up to this point, both major instances of the Suicide Squad have been previous named characters.
But they've been mostly, I guess, league villains versus like lower tier, like age-wise. Does that make sense? Because like I feel like an Icicle Jr. isn't really like a Suicide Squad villain yet. But he could be.
But Icicle Jr. is part of like what's his name? Of like Simon's or Killer Bee's squad, just like on like some random bodyguard team.
Right. That's what I feel like. The like upper level goon kind of villains, I feel like would be more in like a high 5 throwaway than like a Suicide Squad. But again, it kind of just depends. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. I also I don't know why, but I really feel like Scarecrow is going to show up at some point. I just feel like it might just be like a one-off, B-plot thing. But Scarecrow, I feel like, is a random Batman villain that hasn't shown up yet. I think could.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's a lot of villains from a lot of characters that just kind of haven't really been around yet, which is good because I feel like that they're using their variety well. Because there's a bunch of Batman villains that haven't even. The only Batman villains have really been Bane, Poison Ivy, Joker, obviously, Ra's al Ghul. But and that's kind of was Sportsmaster a Batman villain? Who is?
I think Sportsmaster was a Green Arrow villain first.
Did I lose internet again?
Yeah, I think Sportsmaster is a Green Arrow villain, but he's one of those that's like been the villain of a bunch of different characters, but like I think he may start out as a Green Arrow villain, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Especially in Young Justice, they use him very much kind of in an everybody kind of villain kind of aspect.
Yeah.
How like Deathstroke's kind of used and kind of just.
Yeah, because Sportsmaster has never been that cool before. I don't even think he was ever a part of the League of Shadows before Young Justice. Like he was just
I
like
don't think
a
so.
guy who used baseballs and
He was like
bats
a
and stuff.
gag
He was
villain,
just like a
kind of.
yeah.
He was like
So
Condiment King level stuff, and then
mm,
now he's awesome.
so I don't think it really. I think I want more villains like that. I know we've have like, we've already used a ton of DC villains, but I want more villains that were just throwaway one-off or gag villains that are actually like a big deal, just randomly in Young Justice to actually like a big deal. Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of it. First of all, Mad Hatter is another Batman villain, and I loved how they used the Mad Hatter. Like the whole like I know mind control things is
Right.
and Clayface. How did I forget Clayface?
Yeah.
But okay, there's more. They're using more Batman villains than I remember. I just don't remember them all. But yeah, I really like how they've been used, like Mad Hatter with the mind control stuff, especially on other villains. I think that's so like, and Mr. Freeze.
Oh, Mr. Freeze was there too.
But like, that was in the first episode. Literally the first thing in the entire show is Mr. Freeze. Yeah. I am not. I retract my earlier statement. That's like a bunch of Batman villains.
It's mostly Batman villains.
Yeah, it really is. But to be fair, Batman has the best villains, so I mean,
he does.
Blame him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like how they use the Mad Hatter with mind control. I feel like they could really continue to exploit that going forward. That was really well done.
And because this show has had at least 3 different ways of mind controlling people.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, you've got Simon's thing, which is kind of like, I mean, he can like mind control, mental suggest, whatever. And obviously
you have the Mad Hatter thing. You have the little chips at the end of season 1.
Queen Bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can. Yeah, she can control the minds. I think it was only men because they're like,
and some women.
And some women.
Yeah.
There it is. Like, you know what I mean? There you go. Like, I love this show so much. Yeah, man. Like, it's, yeah, like there's a lot of stuff going on here, and like, I'm trying to think. I feel like some of the teams are gonna like dissolve into each other though, because like, I feel like because what was it, like 5 or 6 teams at the end of season 3, basically, like.
Well, at the very end, there was like only 2. No, 3 if you count the Outsiders. But there was the Outsiders, the Team,
right,
the Justice League, Batman Incorporated, and then like within the Team you have the Nightwing, Artemis, and McGann doing stuff.
Yeah, I don't even. There was way too much going on, and I know they kind of like dissolved them, but I don't think they really will.
I don't know. Especially now that there's going to be such a major age gap between like the original main core team and the Outsiders and the newcomers and stuff. Like, it might be a little weird to have Artemis, McGann, and Dick Grayson on the team when they're so much older than the rest of, I know they'll be mentors, but I don't know, I feel like they're just going to kind of do their own team. And we have was Blue Beetle actually on the Outsiders? Did he end up on the Outsiders? I don't remember. Okay, I
think so. The team and the Outsiders was so similar by the end of it. I honestly don't even remember. I know for sure it was like Beast Boy and Impulse and
Cassie.
Was Cassie an Outsider?
Yes.
Okay. See, that's
Cassie,
what I mean.
Tara.
Right. Brion,
Cyborg,
Forager. No, wait.
Not Brion, but yeah, Halo Forager.
Oh yeah, well not
And Superboy. Superboy ended up joining as well.
That's right, dude. This is so confusing. Oh, I need a Venn diagram or something to you know what I mean? So this is. How does this is why Batman is easy to manipulate here, because no one else knows what's going on.
The viewers who are watching the show.
Yeah, I'm watching the show. I know everything that's going on pretty much, and I'm still confused. I can
I
imagine.
had the Wikipedia page pulled up the entire time where every character was, and I'm still
Right? I was still wrong. And then there's a bunch of other people too, because it's like, because okay, so there's like, first of all, there's like what, three, four Roy Harpers. There's like Will, who's like the original Roy Harper, who's like a dad now, which I think is hilarious. Um, then there's
Hang on.
Arsenal, and there's the other
Well,
clone, who's
okay.
like Biggs or something.
Arsenal is the original Roy Harper.
Right, the original.
Will is the clone
But he's the
that was
original
like,
to us.
yes, he's the
Right.
one that like, yeah, he's the original. And then
You quit the team,
oh,
was
what's
the
the name
mole,
of
etc.
what's the name of Guardian?
Oh my gosh,
Um,
I don't
he's with an L. I don't know, but yeah,
I
there's
don't
there's
even
at least three.
yeah, which that was such a weird episode because I'm like they're all
I
the
love that
same
episode though.
person. Like imagine just like being in a car with two clones of you. Like what? What? How do you even deal with that? I don't know.
I mean, they weren't working together all the time, so
I know, but just know you got multiple clones of yourself. Just like, and like your friends like the other you better.
yeah.
Because it's just like, no. I just think it's so weird how like Will's just like a dad and like he's retired. He got like the gut and everything. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, dude, you were like, fighting League of Shadows a couple years ago. Now you're over here dad bodding it. I'm like, oh man, that's the years have not been kind. But I mean, but it is what it is, man. Not like I can talk.
Do you think that Superboy, because he is a genomorph, do you think there's any chance that at some point, whether it be in season 4 or later, he'll like actually develop full-on genomorph like mind powers and other stuff like that?
That would be awesome. But I also feel like it'd be kind of redundant, if that makes sense. Because, like, not for him necessarily, but like, I feel like him and Miss Martian would then kind of.
But he's not on the main team anymore. He's on the Outsiders.
I know, but it's still kind of. I know it would be doing stuff for the different team, but it's still kind of like. Well, maybe. It'd be kind of cool. And he could like. Because okay, look, so that's like telepathy, and what else does that give? Because I'm trying to think the difference between like the genomorph, because that doesn't give you like telekinesis, does it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's just telepathy, right? So I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think like the first couple episodes where they're just like linked.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just telepathy.
Okay.
There is also that other Superboy that hasn't come back yet.
Dude, that wasn't even in season. That was only in season 2, right?
That was only season 1.
That was season 1?
It was.
Because so. He had the
the shields.
Yeah, dude, I forgot about all of that. That was a deep memory. I forgot. Yeah, what happened? What happened to that? There was totally another Superboy, and he was better. He had like all the powers, right?
Yeah, it was a straight up clone. Like
right.
Especially since the Genomorphs have their own city now.
Right.
And we don't know what happened to Project KR. That was.
Didn't he make them public or something? Didn't he like at the end when they're like at the UN meeting he was like talking about him. He's like, I'm proof of this and my other Genomorph.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that might be. I mean, who knows? They might be just people walking around. It could be like Wakanda or whatever. It's just people like, oh, cool. But man, I mean. Which I totally forgot about that other Superboy. That completely escaped my mind.
That could be a thing this season.
Yeah. There could be 2 Superboy. Wait, maybe he's. I don't know, man. I also okay. This is a little bit. I think it's hilarious that Mercy's a robot. I thought that was so funny.
I love it.
He was just like, I was like,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. It makes total sense, but also it's like, yeah, sure, because like that would make sense because like Lex wouldn't trust an actual person. Actually, makes a ton of sense.
Mm.
But like, yeah, that's awesome. But okay, so I'm trying to think. Oh, I feel like there's gonna be. I don't know if she'll like. I feel like Cheshire's gonna like retire and like live like
Mm.
her and Will and Leon, who's gonna be a little bit older. I think they're
Mm.
gonna kind of do their whole family thing.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Artemis, or I guess well, her real name's still Artemis, but she's Tigress. But you know what I mean. You know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's gonna. I feel like they're probably gonna talk about that and stuff or somehow. Because I feel like Cheshire was kind of a good character that kind of just wasn't really talked about in season 3. I know she had a scene or two, but like,
Yeah. So much happened in season 3. They just didn't have really time for it, I guess.
yeah. I feel like they could come back to that maybe. Maybe she
Yeah.
has a scene and like they do their thing because it's like, look, it's not that serious. Like, be happy, have a family, don't be a villain. Like, it's better. He has a dad bod, it's perfect. Like, go Rachel, baby. But
yeah, there's like a 20% chance that literally nothing we talk about is actually going to be like major events. It's just going to be like something completely out there, like some other random villain or some other random comic that we don't even know about is going to be like the main.
I mean, Lobo's still out there. I mean,
Lobo's
and the Lobo, like, isn't there like, isn't that thing grow into like a clone, then he killed it?
Yes, but then he stepped on it.
Right, which is hilarious. But like that also means he's back on Earth, so
it was a gag at the very end.
I know. But it's Lobo and he was as advertised. So
yeah.
That's going on.
Because yeah, like I didn't even know the Reach existed before I saw season 2. Like there've been several instances of like villains and other stuff happening in the show that I didn't know existed. So like, even though like I feel my comic knowledge has grown significantly since 2012, I think even since 2019, there could be some other random thing other that I just don't know. Like the Legion of Superheroes is like a pretty big blind spot since I haven't seen that show in 10 years and haven't read any of the comics. Like, could be some random thing specifically from the Legion of Superheroes that could be the major driving factor. So I don't know.
There's gonna be a lot going on. There's so much with how much they can still expand and everything. Like, there's no real telling. I mean, it to some capacity. There's probably gonna be some dark side stuff, but probably not actually dark side. Probably just,
we haven't had Steppenwolf yet.
Yeah, Steppenwolf, or really Desaad, really either. I mean, it was kind of mostly just Granny.
Yeah.
So, figure out. I do love the whole anti-life equation thing, though. I think that was awesome. Like, super evil, but like totally awesome.
Yeah, the fact that they like cracked it.
Yeah, that can't be good. Like, no. Because I remember thinking, like, originally I thought anti-life equation was just like, how to die, basically. I thought like Darkseid was immortal. He just wanted to figure out how to die. No. You're thinking too easily. You wish that's all he wanted.
Like, he makes other people wish they wanted.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's so like terrible, but very fitting. So like I think that's but now they figured out, and Halo's the key to the anti-life equation, which I think is all right, but I feel like that's not going to go well for her. But yeah, also, Cyborg is also in this. He's, apparently I think his new design looks pretty good. I think I saw.
Oh yeah, by the end of season 3, he's looking great.
Yeah, so that's gonna be awesome. Even though somehow he's not voiced by Carrie Payton, but okay,
sure.
Fine. Everyone else, every other black character in the show can be voiced by Carrie Payton instead. It's fine, I guess. But it's fine. It's funny because you could think of, even in Invincible, they had what's his name?
Black Samson.
Yes, and I'm like, is everyone gonna be Cyborg except Cyborg? Like they had to be on purpose. Like, okay, so let's get Carrie, but like don't let him do Cyborg. Like you know that had to be. They had to like know what they're. And he was kind of like, okay, guys, good job. Where's the? Oh, no,
Like,
sorry.
Like, I wonder how that conversation went. Like, did they ask him at all, or did they just tell him we're going a different direction with Cyborg? You're still going to be every other character in the show, but
I feel like they told him because they probably just wanted it to feel different than because I mean at the time, Teen Titans Go was also like actually not at the time because it's season 3, but I feel like Teen Titans Go is still going on, right?
It's still
So they probably like
going.
Let's try to make the and I think they also just want to separate it a little bit because like
like they still have at least most of the original cast of Teen Titans like on the show pretty regularly. Like obviously. Actually, no, that's not even like what you just said isn't even really technically valid because the guy who plays
Beast Boy,
Garfield's playing Beast Boy. So like,
Greg Sipes, I think.
I can't remember. I don't remember his name. And so yeah, like they got Beast Boy to play Beast Boy. So
never mind. My entire argument isn't completely invalid, so I apologize.
And they have Tara Strong playing Tara. They have Hynden Walsh playing Beast Boy's girlfriend. Maybe someone else too, but that's
what's her name? Princess Perdita or whatever. I still love that she's the same person from that season 1 episode.
Love it.
It's still one of the best episodes, one of the strongest episodes.
Oh yeah,
too. Like,
absolutely.
So like, I think I love that continuity staying true.
Mm-hmm.
Although I feel like I wish Wally was there to appreciate it, but it's fine. But anyway,
I do like that they said that they met at his funeral. So there's that, I guess.
Wally helping people out even from across the grave. I got you, bro. But young.
Like just the fact that Wally didn't die. He got blipped out of existence. Like he is somewhere. Like he didn't like. There's no body. There's no ashes. He's just gone. So like either the Speed Force ate him, or he's like on a different plane of existence, or I don't know. Like they did that specifically to tell the audience there's a chance. He didn't die. He's just like not around anymore. I guess. I don't know.
Maybe, but like I know the opportunity for him to come back is there, but it's like if he's coming back, it has to be this season. If he doesn't come back this season, he's not coming back. Because I'm kind of on the boat. I don't think he's coming back. Like I want to think he is, but I feel like it would almost be like I don't know. It would kind of like if they had brought him back last season, I feel like it would have been kind of cheap. Because like I feel like it really needs to resonate. He's gone before you can bring him back for it to really mean something.
Because I know in the comics, after he disappeared, literally everybody on Earth forgot he existed.
Right.
But they're not going that angle, at least not that we know of. Like maybe within that 2-year time skip, they will have forgotten about him somehow, but
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Especially with they spent a whole episode dedicated to Artemis, like mentally trying to move on. So
and the episode right before that, Nightwing had his like delusion of Wally West coming back, that was like literally almost made me cry. It was great.
And it's so smart too, because like they are mentally linked up, so of course they all see it, and it's like we were there. Like
all their costumes reverted back to season 1. Like the art style changed slightly. It was great.
I thought that was crazy how like everyone had their original costumes, their voices a little bit, but like they were still kind of doing the same things, but like that was weird. Because I totally forgot. And I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, like Tigress isn't even Artemis anymore. McGann's just white now. Logan doesn't even do the hair or the.
Superboy's shirt is grayer now. It used to be
Yeah,
black,
and
now
the
it's
long
grayish.
sleeves. Yeah, and he's Aquaman now, not
Mm,
Aqualad, and like obviously the Nightwing thing, and like yeah, that's crazy. Like I realize like years have gone by, both
mm,
literally in the show and like literally in real life. But like
yeah.
yeah, it did feel like man, this it's like so much has really changed, and I think that's
Mm,
really good. I think that's what they're going for. But man, that was a core memory right there.
yeah.
But no, I
So yeah,
think
like
that,
I think season 4 has potential to be really fantastic.
yes.
I do kind of fear that it could potentially be a little busy if even half the stuff we mentioned does actually happen. And there's going to be stuff we didn't mention that's also going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I feel like the show's so excited to do everything, and it's like just do 2 or 3 things really good, and you don't have
Mm,
to do everything. But
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. But hopefully, the trailer comes out relatively soon to give us an idea of what the show
It
might.
comes out next month,
Maybe.
right?
Yeah, it's coming out a week after DC Fandom, so hopefully they don't only give it a week to really be advertised. Like,
And yet, they will.
yeah,
Because I don't know why, but this show does not, for some reason, even though the fans love it, it feels like
like
the network doesn't love its own show.
yeah, this show was the reason people got DC Universe.
Yes.
There's other
What?
stuff like Harley Quinn, other stuff too, but like this was like the thing, like the driving factor of
Yeah,
us
especially
getting it.
initially. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
and
kind of
now it's gonna be on HBO, and they should, it again, especially now that Disney Plus is just full of high quality superhero content. Like you need to try to push this stuff. Titans is not doing it for you.
Titans is that show that nobody's watching, but the few people that are swear it's good, and then you watch it and you're like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
And then it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I don't understand what they're trying to do with that show. I tried it a little bit. I was not feeling it. But
Yeah, I don't know. Like the costumes look good now, so there's that.
it's also the 3rd season. That was, you know what I mean? Like they
Yeah,
better look
took a
good
while.
by now. Like,
Yeah, it's not a problem. That's not a problem when they're animated. They just make the characters look like they're supposed to look from the beginning, and they look great. So,
but trying to be different. I understand it, but hey, at least it's not Powerpuff Girls remake.
yeah.
Has that burned to the ground yet, or is that still happening?
Not yet. The actress that played Blossom left, but the show is still maybe happening. I don't know.
Please don't. But anyway, that's a whole nother rant. So I'm not even gonna go there.
Do you have any other final predictions? Gorilla Grodd is another character that hasn't shown up yet that I think might.
This is true.
There's like 4 other monkeys in the show.
Yeah.
And as we know, Superboy hates monkeys. Technically gorilla, but you know what I'm saying.
I don't know. I mean, it still counts, but I don't know. I think, honestly, I feel like that's probably because they wanted to make. Again, I know I said this earlier. I feel like Simon and Grodd. I feel like Grodd's kind of a mixture between Mala and Simon, kind of.
And Ultra Humanite's also there.
Yeah, that too. So yeah, I feel like that'd be a little overkill. Because I mean, granted, they do exist, and it's not like they're holding back on characters included. But at the same time, I mean, you really need another giant monkey.
No, you don't. But
right? Like no one's like a man. I really wish, you know what I mean? No one's like the show's just missing Gorilla Grodd. You know what I mean? It's like we've got enough villains going on, but
yeah,
definitely. I feel like the magic, like the magical, like Clarion and all that. I feel like they get kind of underutilized though. I feel like
it's because they're so OP, you can't like use them all the time.
Yeah, I know, but like, I mean, they have good. I mean, Zatanna's like fully realized now, so I feel like they could.
Yeah.
What? They don't have Constantine, do they?
No, they don't. Or Swamp Thing.
Or
she gets Swamp Thing in there.
They should definitely get Swamp Thing in there. Yeah, maybe they'll have a Justice League Dark like version of the team for like magic related. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Zatanna being a major part of the original team, like going on to like maybe even
That'd
found the Justice League Dark could be pretty cool.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. And see,
Yeah.
that's what I kind of like. We have people we follow for a while and then they kind of find their paths. But again, Zatanna's not the OG, but she's still kind of in the inner circle.
Yeah.
So it's okay if she kind of leads her own team somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool if like her, yeah, they get like a Swamp Thing. And I mean, maybe even Dr. Fate. I know that whole relationship between her and her dad's very like emotional, which I think is really crazy how that's still like happening. Because like, you know, you kind of thought in season 1, oh yeah, they'll figure it out. And it's like, nah.
No.
They kind of didn't. It's kind of still a problem. I'm like, oh wow, that's like terrifying.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Are there any other major predictions that you want to throw out there before we sign off?
Nah, that's all I got.
All right, let me just double check my list one more time. Think I covered everything. I get like as much as I want other dimension stuff, it maybe will be a bit too much for this season. Like
a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Maybe if they do end up doing a season 6 after Dark Side stuff, maybe then they could go alternate dimensions. But yeah. But yeah, like I said, this season has a ton of potential. A lot of stuff could happen. A lot of stuff we want to happen might not happen. But it's probably going to be pretty good. Yeah. I just want to see it. I just want to see some kind of promo for it soon.
Give me something other than it exists, please. But at least it exists.
At least it exists. It's coming out in late October. I'll be ready for it. Yep. Okay, so yeah, leave any predictions y'all have down below. I'd love to see anything we miss, anything that you agree that you want to see in it. Just just general love for the show down there. Love to see it. So yeah, with that, we will see you all next time.
Take care, everybody.